Hello. So I want to talk a little bit about time um, and kind of using MASH to play with time a little bit. So let's see here. So first, to play with time, we need something animated. So to do that, I'm just going to create a little simple setup here. So we'll make a plane. I will add a bend deformer. You can see here that the bend deformer axis doesn't match with our plane, so I'm just going to rotate that into position. And when I curve the bend deformer, it curves the plane. So I'm going to, let's see here, really what I want. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so that looks pretty good. This one. All right, cool. So any attribute you want to animate, you can, right? So I can animate the translation and the rotation. In this case, I want to just animate this bend here. So anytime you see a number you want to animate, you can just right-click on that number and set a key. All right. So let's say on frame, and I like to start from 0 actually. It defaults to 1, but I think 0 kind of makes more sense for me. So we'll set a key there, and you'll see when I set a key, a little tick showed up in our timeline. It's handy. Set a key, and then make this 0. Set a key, and now when I scrub, it bends and then it stops. Right? And it kind of eases in. So if we want to, okay, so there's so much to talk about. If you want, you can actually retime your animation right in the top line. So what I'm doing is I'm just shifting and grabbing it, and then I can middle mouse and reposition my keyframes right there. There's a few other handy places. So another kind of place where we can manipulate these keyframes is in the graph editor. So animation editor's graph editor. And on the Mac, if I want to keep this on my shelf, I just so I have a custom shelf here. If I want to add something to my shelf, I just go when I have something selected, I hold down Command Shift. Right. So I want a graph editor and a dope sheet. And there's other ones, but that's kind of outside of where I want to go. Okay, so here I got my graph editor and my dope sheet. So let's just look at the graph editor first. So when you select something, it'll automatically populate the graph editor with whatever relevant keys you have here. And we can see in my animation here, it eases out and eases in. So if I want, I can change the angle of the tangency by selecting it and then middle mouse moving it. All right. Now you can unlock these tangencies and change the influence on the points, but I highly recommend for now to just keep it simple. All right. So you have your handles and your angles. If I want to retime it, I can move this key around, right? And in fact, anything that you can do in terms of translation, scaling, rotation, it's the exact same hotkeys. And even just moving around in space in the graph editor is exactly the same way you would move around in your scene, all right? Which is amazing. I mean, I wish it was like this in After Effects. All right, so let's see what we got. We got zooms out and then hits. All right. So that's our animation. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to plug this into Mesh. So to do that, I create my Mesh network. Now we have a bunch of curves. All right, so what I'm going to do here is instead of spreading them out like this, I'm going to just have them right on top of each other. So I'm going to take, so there's 10 of them, but they're all right on top of each other. All right. I have to frame that up. All right. So now we're going to add a new node here, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to add time. Add the time node. And so by default, what it's doing is it's just going to sample within a range the underlying animation, and then it's going to repeat it over and over and over again, right? So it's just going to be 1 to 25, 1 to 25, 1 to 25, 1 to 25, okay? In this instance, that's not what we want. I want it to come up and then stop, right? Let's just start with having it match our original animation. So to do that, I say limited loops, 1 loop. So now it goes to 1 to 25, and it ends. Okay. 26, I guess it is. All right. Stop. All right, so now things get a little more interesting. We can stagger and offset the timing of all our instances. So watch what happens as I start to increase this here. It creates this echo effect, automatic overlap, which is amazing. So this even just this right here, for example, you could have a mesh in 2 different states, and then like basically clone between the 2 with however many number you want. And it's that simple to do it. So there's all kinds of beautiful procedural kind of forms you can make with just something as simple as this. All right. And if I want to kind of change this timing here, yes, okay, so the stagger is in positive frames. What if we wanted to go backwards in time? It would just simply be negative. So now it starts, and then they come later. All right. And that's all there is to that.